What's up, this squad? Back with another video. I seen the title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it in the title. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. I wasn't going to drop a video today, but, you know, why not? Says here, and make sure y'all safe. Make sure y'all safe. I don't know if I'm dropping this video before, you know, y'all go trick-or-treating, or if y'all passing out candy. Anyways, be safe. Definitely be safe. I pray for a great night. Everybody, you know, get to their destination safely, in their destination safely. I'm telling y'all. Definitely, you know, prayers out goes to all. President Trump, you know, has his post, says work really hard 24/7, took in trillions of dollars. And Chuck Schumer said the trip was a total dud, even though he knows it's true success. Let me tell y'all, I've said this in my last video. And I explained to multiple people. This is something that they'll continue to do. One thing that they cannot say is that Trump hasn't done anything or Trump isn't doing anything. Trump is always on the move. I know y'all see my video yesterday. If y'all haven't seen that video, make sure y'all go check that video out. That at the Halloween, you know, at the White House, it showed that President Trump had just came from, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I want to make sure I get this right because I don't want to say the wrong, place. But President Trump literally, it says Trump only arrived from South Korea hours ago. So right before that, he was literally in South Korea. So it literally just goes to show you that President Trump is on the move. I'm telling y'all. Says here, Chuck Schumer says it should frighten every American when president of the administration is shielded by the press. Check it out what he says.
Greatest blows to democracy when we don't have a fully free press. And has it been a hallmark of so many of the countries that he has mentioned that are autocracies or absolute dictatorships to have no free press, so no information can come out? And doesn't that dramatically hurt the American people when government is shielded and can do whatever it wants and hurt as many people as it wants? Because you don't have a free press, shouldn't it really frighten every American that this is a large step on the road away from democracy towards tyranny and towards authoritarian government?
Completely insane. I've said it multiple times, completely insane. Says Dems live in another universe in their minds. Honestly. That's truly what, you know, it is. This is President Trump confirming he's not even considering budgeting on Chuck Schumer's $1.5 million demand to reopen the government, which will fund health cares for illegals. Check it out.
Well, I think it's a shame that it's shut down because we have the greatest economy, as you were saying before. We have the greatest economy in the world right now, by far, the United States. We have almost 18, now it was 17, now it's $18 trillion being poured into our country, and it's no time for shutdowns. I don't think it's affecting what we're doing, but it's too bad for a lot of people. We have a lot of good people that aren't working right now that should be, and it's because the Democrats want to try and renegotiate a deal that they had negotiated. They want $1.5 trillion given to illegal immigrants who came into the country, and it's going to hurt the health care of citizens of our country that have been paying into it, that have been working hard for it, that really deserve it. So we're never going to do that. It's not going to happen. And I will tell you, there are a lot of good Democrats that really want to make a deal. And I think all we need is 5 Democrats because we have a great support on the Republican side. So I think we need 5 Democrats, and there are a lot of them that want to make a deal. So I think at some point, common sense will prevail.
And one thing about it, I know y'all seen, if y'all haven't seen my video I posted a couple days ago, it literally went to and shows, you know, how many individuals are literally caving in, you know, from the left. I've explained this to my grandmother. Y'all know my grandmother is a Democrat. Really my whole family. It's pretty wild. And most of my family, I should say. And, you know, I was explaining to her, I'm like, and she agreed, you know, and I told her, I'm like, listen, I know for a fact, I know some of those Democrats are going to start caving in because they're starting to, you know, they're starting to hear from family members. They're hearing from different individuals like, we're going through it. You know, we going through it. I don't like this. I don't like what's going on. Even though, you know, just like President Trump said, you know, others, yeah, they need to work. You had the capability to work, definitely. But there are people that's complaining, you know, to those family members, to those, you know. So I definitely feel as if, you know, they're going to cave in. I mean, that's me personally. This is a video of VP JD Vance, basically, saying that, Dems for their failure to negotiate and reopen the government for the American people. Check it out.
Is our very simple proposal to the Democrats. Let's sit down and come to a compromise and work it out. And you know what the Democrats' response to that is? Give us everything we want, or we're going to shut down the government and keep it shut down. That is not reasonable behavior. That's not how you do compromise in this town. That is the way that the Democrats have operated. They are trying to take a hostage, and we can't reward that behavior. If we do that, if we say, yes, of course, we'll give you everything that you want if you reopen the government, you know what's going to happen? In 3 months, they're going to come back to the administration, and they're again going to say, we're going to shut down the aviation industry. We're going to deny people SNAP benefits unless you give us exactly what you want. That's how a child behaves. That is not how a responsible governing party behaves in the United States of America. And let me make one final point, and then we'll cut out of this press conference. Look, I've been a little bit unfair, and I want to correct this, because when I say the Democrats have shut down the government, it's actually the far left side of the Democratic Party, because to their great credit, 3 moderate Democrats joined 52 Senate Republicans to vote to reopen the government. We need 5 more reasonable Democrats to put the American people first and reopen the government. That's all that we're asking. Let's talk about health care policy. Let's make sure that we ensure that Americans' health insurance premiums don't go up. We want that, and we're willing to work with people for it, but they've got to reopen the government first.
Definitely.
Sean came from a background not that dissimilar from mine. Sean O'Brien came from a background not that dissimilar from mine. There are moms and dads who are fighting right now because they're worried about not being able to pay the credit card bill and the mortgage bill. There are parents who have to look their kids in the eye and say, you know what, we're not going to do football this year. We're not going to do basketball this year because I can't pay for it because the federal government is shut down and I'm not getting a paycheck.
And y'all got to think like this is something that I feel like a lot of people don't understand when you like really truly deep down. Like, I'm a person that like thinks of not only the situation, I look at the smaller things too. Just think about it. Just like Vice President JD Vance is explaining, he's talking about the credit cards. You have these credit cards. I mean, that's kind of messing a lot up. Y'all know it's messing a lot up. If you're taking out loans, you have credit cards, and you can't pay that back because you're already going through a struggle. What is that doing? That's messing up a lot of stuff. That's messing up your credit. That's messing up, of how are you going to get paid. You got to, and then it push you down even more. And I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. This is just me being, realistic. I'm telling y'all, this is being realistic. You're going through all these things. Not to mention, telling kids, well, mom and dad, we can't do this. We can't let you, play basketball or football or baseball or anything like that. And then what does that do? They kind of push your child down. Not only to put your child down, it puts you down. Mess with your mental health, mess with your kids' mental health. You go to school. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, you got kids. Oh, okay. Got kids talking about them. Then you got it's so many things that I think about in situations like this that a lot of people don't. And a lot of this is reality. A lot of this is sad, that so many people are put in these positions, and then it affects everything that else that's going on in their lives, or that's not going on in their lives. So, things that, that more so of you creating more so a problem. You have this big problem, but then that big problem causes a whole bunch of little problems, right behind it. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. And that's why I'm so mad and so furious when it comes to the Dems that's doing this. And I don't understand why people are supporting them and they got all this going on, and doing this. It's definitely sad.
We want those people who keep the aviation system running to not be able to feed their families, to not be able to pay for some of the things that make life worth living. The answer to that question is absolutely, we want them to be able to afford a good life. The only way for that to happen is to reopen the government. It'll be good for those who fly. It'll be good for those who work in the aviation industry. It'll be good for the whole country. Just do the common sense thing, Democrats. Reopen the government. We need 5 Senate Democrats to join us. I hope that they will. Thank you, guys.
Definitely. I feel that, though. I definitely feel that. That's 100. I explain more to y'all, but this just goes to show y'all how many individuals, are literally having an issue with it, and showing other people, they're having issues with it. This is the CEO of United Airlines, is literally going off on Chuck Schumer and the Dems for shutting down the government, and refusing to pay air traffic controllers. I'm telling y'all, it's definitely getting worse for Chuck Schumer. Check it out.
Really thanking the professionals, the air traffic controllers, the folks at the TSA, also the FAA, the people in management. They're working hard. They are keeping the skies safe. They've minimized delays. Fewer than 2% of flights have been delayed so far because of air traffic control shortages. So they've done a great job. But it's putting stress on people. It's not fair to those people. It's also putting stress on the economy. You know, the first couple of weeks this had no impact on the economy, but as every day goes by, the impacts start to grow. And airlines are a pretty good real-time indicator of the economy, and we start to see, still minor, but steep booking impact, and you see that happening in the economy. We put the whole economy at risk. And so it's been 30 days, and while I don't have a position on which partisan side and how things should be settled with healthcare, it has been 30 days. I also think it is time to pass a clean CR, use that as the opportunity to get into a room behind closed doors and negotiate hard on the real and substantive issues that the American people want our politicians on both sides of the aisle to solve. But let's get a clean CR and get that negotiation done behind closed doors without the pressure and without putting the American workers and the American economy at risk.
You're great.
Definitely. I definitely love it. And a lot of people are starting, you know, again, to realize they're coming out, you know, definitely coming out. You literally got here, Delta has backed the American people's push for clean CR. So, again, there's more and more individuals that are truly coming out. You literally have, and it says here, Chuck Schumer faces a stunning loss after being called out for holding the government hostage by the presidents of Airlines for America. I'm telling y'all, check it out right here.
The biggest way to ensure the safety,
It's president of Southwest Airlines. Y'all heard me say Delta, United Airlines.
security, and reliability of our national air traffic control system is to pass a clean, continuing resolution.
We are concerned that when our brothers and sisters in TSA and air traffic control are not receiving paychecks, that they're distracted and that they erode on the margin of safety that we rely on to go out and operate our aircraft and do our job safely as well.
Every day that they go to work, they have not only the weight of one of the most high consequence jobs in the entire world, now they're feeling, how do I pay for my gas? How do I put food on the table?
No one should have to work without being paid. Congress owes it to the American people to get this thing done, get a clean CR done, and get the government back open.
Everyone knows, the Vice President, Congress, is that this shutdown needs to end now.
It has to happen now. These guys need to convene, say yes to that clean CR, get this thing back on track, and again, restore that confidence in the American public as we go into these very busy holiday seasons.
Come on now. It's all right there. It's all right there. I'm telling y'all. And again, a lot of people are seeing and understanding and pushing them to do what they need to do. One thing that I love that J.D. Vance, Vice President J.D. Vance said is a simple fact that, you know, and let me go back to this. It's a simple fact that, like, of, you know, if we do this now and basically us caving in, then 3 months from now, they're going to want to do the same thing. Hey, trust me. I see exactly what he's saying. This here says Speaker Johnson exposes that to reopen the federal government, Chuck Schumer demanded $4 million for, I'm telling y'all, and this is, by all means, y'all, I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way. I don't want nobody to look at me any type of different. But when I tell y'all, bro, let me tell y'all something. When I tell y'all, this right here, I don't feel no type of way when it, you know, when it comes to the LGBTQ and, you know, things like that. And they said they want $2 million for the feminist democratic principle projects in Africa. Let me tell y'all something, bro. Again, I have no issues within that. It's just the simple fact that there are more things that, you know, money needs to go. And for the whole simple fact that, you know, you have individuals talking about President Trump and saying that he does this and he does that, I feel like it's BS. I truly feel like it's BS because the things that they're asking for and what they want to pay for is completely insane to me. Check it out.
Things like $4 million for global LGBTQI plus awareness campaigns around the world. $4 million for the LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Balkans. They want $2 million for feminist democratic principles projects in Africa. We're not doing that. But again, the question is why? Why? This sounds crazy. It is. Why would they do this? And what we saw on vivid display over the weekend was the re-emphasis of this fact. This is motivated purely out of fear. And what do we mean by that? You saw the Democratic leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, endorse Zohran Mamdani for mayor of New York City on Friday. It was an illustration of what we're facing here. The Democrats right now fear the far left activists more than they fear air traffic controllers, border patrol agents, American service members, and so many others missing their paychecks. They fear the Marxist insurgents like Mamdani more than they fear families and children going hungry from lapsed benefits that keep food on their tables. Mm-hmm. They simply fear losing their own political positions next November if they don't appease the angry far left base right now.
I'm telling y'all, they only care about themselves. They don't care about the American people. I've said that this is not something that all Recklezz is saying. This is like true, bro. Like, they truly only care for themselves. I don't get how people don't realize that. This video right here, I definitely have to show. I seen this video and I was like, man, I have to show my channel this. I have to show my channel this because right here, Speaker Mike Johnson definitely, he says some real stuff. Check it out.
The Democrats in Congress are more afraid of the rising Marxist far left in their party than they are about taking food out of the mouths of hungry Americans. I mean, that's just a fact, and everybody can see it. You got Hakeem Jeffries in the House, Chuck Schumer in the Senate. Those are the two leaders. They're both from New York. And we all know that Marxism is all the rage in New York. Mamdani is about to be elected mayor of America's largest city. He'll ruin it in short order. But they're afraid, those two guys in particular, and many others in the House and Senate, they're afraid that if they don't appease the Marxist base, that they'll kick them out of their political chairs. And that's the motivation. There's no other explanation. We had a clean, nonpartisan CR. We didn't load it up with anything any of us want. Clean as a whistle, and they rejected it. First time in history, any party's had the audacity to close the government down on a clean CR. And it is 100% a selfish decision on their part because they don't want to lose their seats in Congress. Chuck Schumer's been here for 44 years. He doesn't know what else to do with his life.
This was President Biden's budget. He signed this budget into law.
It is Biden-era policies and spending, which we all loathe, of course, and we're working hard to change it. We finally have unified government. We have the Republicans in control, the White House, the Senate, and the House, and we have just enough votes, we hope, to have new appropriations to change those policies that don't make a lot of sense. But right now, we made the obvious and nonpartisan decision: just keep it open for 7 more weeks and allow us to finish that process. And that's what they voted against. It's the first time in all their lives they've done it. They have no explanation.
I'm telling y'all, it's definitely insane. Y'all got it right here. Says Chuck Schumer, 27 years, Nancy Pelosi, 38, Mitch McConnell, 40 years. They call us a threat to democracy. Americans need term limits, no more career politicians. Let me tell y'all something. One thing about it is that it completely makes sense. The things that, Mike Johnson was saying, he don't know what he's doing. He don't know what else to do with his life. And that's why you need those, term limits. Definitely. It's a lot of individuals that's like that, just go ahead and retire. Especially him, making everything worse. Definitely making everything worse. And one thing about it is that people are starting to realize, but people are truly going to start to realize. And one thing that people are going to do is lead that Democratic Party. I'm telling y'all. And I can't wait. I definitely say, I hate that this is going on. I definitely hate that this is going on. I dislike it. I think it's sick. I think it's disgusting these individuals doing this. But one thing about it is that I'm glad. I truly am glad because they're showing who they truly are to a lot of people. And they're not doing nothing but hurting themselves. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Catch y'all next one.